the whole time. Y'all, we was on mute the whole time. You played that whole song and we was on mute, right? Oh my God. There we go. It wouldn't be the Shenanigans if we didn't start off like completely messing it up, right? What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Thank you for being here. Let me see who we got in the chat today. Ray, they're going to get us. Come on now. Thank you. Let's see. Pooper. We got Travels with P. I'm not a party pooper. I just don't want YouTube to take my stuff away. That's all. Travels with PMB said, "Hey everyone, thanks for coming through. What's up, Travels with PMB? One of our special guests today. We have Danny Dizzle, the spectacular supporter. Welcome in, Danny.
Hey,
how are you?
Thanks so much for being here.
Yes. Let me try to make sure that's the way we're supposed to look, right? I don't need to mirror the screen. We good?
I think so.
All right. Hi, Marley. Hello. We're going to be chatting with Marley and Paul in a minute, and Matthew. And let's see who we got. On the go with YOLO. Happy Sunday. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for being
here. That is one of my favorite Frankie Beverly and Maze songs. Boy, I could put that mugger. Come on, I repeat that joke 17 times.
He will. He really will, y'all. And on the go with YOLO, thank you so much for being here and for being a channel member as well. And we have Carnival Cruise Addicts. Welcome in, family. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Yes, and thank you for being a channel member. Danny Dizzle said, Paul. He said, hey, Paul. She said, hey, Paul. Carnival Cruise Addicts saying, what's up, TRT? What's going on, CCA? YOLO. Danny said, party. Yes, party. So we are currently live on Team Reese Travels with PMB, and we are live on Portholes and Pixie Dust channel 2. So wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for tuning in. We are going to be chatting with our guests here momentarily. We just want to get through a little bit of the chat first. MH families in the building, welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Yes, and thank you for being a channel member. She said, hey, Team Reese and everyone in the chat.
How to do?
Danny Dizzle, the spectacular supporter, saying hey to MH fam. We got LaQuinta here. Happy Sunday, LaQuinta.
Hey, LaQuinta, how you doing? Thanks so much for being here.
She said hi, Team Reese and chat. Happy Sunday, everyone. CCA is speaking to MH family. MH family said no sound. See, we mess it up every time, Rockwell. I don't know. It's something about it. We just can't get it right over here.
That's all right, though. We came back around with it.
We came back around. Hi, Tina. Welcome in.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks so much for being here.
Happy Sunday to you. And Feeling D said, hey, y'all. What's up, Feeling D? Happy Sunday.
Hey, Feeling D.
Joyce Reese saying, happy Sunday,
hey,
family.
Ma, how you doing?
Yes.
Thanks so much for being here.
Hello. Danny said they're muted, and we were. Yeah, we got it together, though, I think. And we got TJ.
We was over here just grooving.
And we was grooving. Muted all day. Boy, TJ, what's up? Welcome in, TJ. Danny said, there we go. We got it, y'all. We got it. Carnival Cruise Addict said, I thought it was me. Nope, it's us. It's always us.
Hey,
y'all.
You know what? We are one. That's
we
all.
Are one.
We are one.
TJ saying, good now. Let's see. What did we miss? Okay, Yellow saying hey to CCA. And we got Stash Cash saying, hey, Carnival Cruise Addicts. How you doing, Stash? Welcome in.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. So we got Kimberly Lovell. Hello, Portholes and Pixie Dust, PMB, and beautiful chat. Happy, fun Sunday. Absolutely. Happy Sunday to you too, Kimberly. Hey, you guys, we have some special guests this evening. Travel Yes You See, welcome in.
Hey, how you doing?
Chapel Yes We See. I always say you see, it's we see. Travel Yes We See, welcome in. Good evening to you. I believe Travel Yes We See either was on this ship too, or what's going on, or maybe I'm thinking about World America. But
maybe it's World America.
Today we are talking about our time on Norwegian Aqua, and not only are we talking about it, but we have some special guests today, you guys. We have some guests who were on board the ship with us. We have Portholes and Pixie Dust and Travels with PMB here in the house. They're gonna be hanging out. You guys have been hearing our perspective of Norwegian. Y'all heard us throughout our time on board when we would go live. You heard us what we thought in the vlogs that we put out so far, which we still have more vlogs to put out. So we have more coming. But yeah, to the 29 of you in the building, if you could please help us welcome our special guests. We have Paul from Travels with PMB. Hi,
hey. Paul. Hi, everybody.
Yes, welcome. And we have Marley and Matthew from Portholes and Pixie Dust. What's up, guys?
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hello, happy Sunday.
Yes, happy Sunday, you guys. It is good to see you guys again. We like met them for the first time on board the ship. Got to experience this new ship together, right? Even though we were all running in our own separate directions and really didn't get a ton of time together. It's a lot of work getting on a new ship, y'all.
Oh, sorry.
But we met you back to the song.
That song is in my head now. Don't it.
But we still had a good time. We enjoyed meeting everybody. We had a few more people coming in. We have I just saw a new name come in. Who did I see? Where'd it go?
You gotta go up a little bit.
LF McKinley, welcome. Big Merce Life in the building. Welcome in.
Hey.
And my cruising family. Welcome in. Happy Sunday, you guys.
How you doing? Thanks so much for being here.
And Coker Culture. Welcome in.
Hey, welcome.
So, you ready to talk Aqua?
Yes.
Okay. So before we do that, let's start with Portholes and Pixie Dust. Marley and Matthew, can you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves, your channel, all the things?
Yeah, so we just celebrated 1 year on YouTube, and we've completed, thank you, 24 cruises?
Yeah.
Wow.
Including bringing our 1-year-old. She's going to be 2 in less than 2 weeks along with us. Not on all of them, but most of them.
Oh, nice. That's nice. You know, we love the cruising with kids thing.
She actually went on her first cruise at 9 weeks old, MSC.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yep. So ever since then, we've just decided that we love cruising. I used to teach video production at the high school level. So kind of taking our two loves together, and that's what brought us here to YouTube and being able to meet everyone in this great community.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, let me tell you, the quality is awesome too. Like I was wondering, did I have like some kind of background in media? I'm like, man, they are killing it over there. I've been watching the Aqua content, and it is so good. So I'm like, man, that's good to hear that you guys were able to kind of marry those two loves together. Because I mean, who doesn't love cruising, right?
Yeah. So I have a question for you guys. I know you said that the baby's first cruise was at 9 weeks old. We first traveled with RJ. He was what, 6 months?
6 months.
He was 6 months old. We brought the whole house with us. Did you guys do the same thing?
No, we had another group go with us, cousins who had a 6 or 7 month old at the time. But with her being 9 weeks, she was like strapped to Matt's chest the whole. Right. It was a 3-day cruise. She slept the entire time because MSC doesn't have an age limit or like age restrictions.
Yeah.
If you've seen The Hangover, where the guy with the beard has the baby like strapped to him the whole time, that was me.
Yeah.
Nice. That's my favorite movie.
I love that. Love and V is in the house. What's up? Welcome in. Happy Sunday to you.
Hey, thanks so much for being here.
So, can you, Paul, tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel as well?
Travels with PMB, and I started the channel maybe 3 years ago. I just felt that when I was researching certain things, I couldn't find it specifically. And so I went from just doing reviews, hotel reviews, and then started doing more vlog-based videos on my channel. And then also within the last year, I've been also a travel agent. So I kind of married the two together in terms of being able to have the experience of being able to do some of these cruises. I also do all-inclusive resorts as well, which when I first started traveling, I used to do that more than cruising. And then I got into cruising, got the cruise bug. So right now there's a lot of cruise content more than all-inclusive resorts. But in the future, I may mix it up again just to kind of balance the two in terms of, because that's what I started with anyway, was kind of some all-inclusive luxury resorts. And looking at some of these luxury resorts, luxury cruises, I think I can afford a luxury resort more than the luxury cruises that I'm seeing recently. So that's how it all started, and that's where I'm at right now.
Nice. Yes. Well, congratulations on 3 years. And
Thank you.
It's pretty cool to see. Paul does a lot of like hotel reviews and things like that too. So you really get a lot of variety on his channel. So make sure you guys are subscribing to Portholes and Pixie Dust and Travels with PNB as you come in. Big Murph Life said, congrats on your 1-year anniversary to Portholes and Pixie Dust.
Thank you.
Yes. And you know what? I had this down as a question too. My cruising family said, we love that name. How did you guys come up with the name Portholes and Pixie Dust?
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Hey, we are AI fans over here.
It was, so we originally wanted to kind of have a split focus on the channel of the cruising content, with the Pixie Dust being the Disney part of it.
Oh,
and
okay.
what we quickly realized is the Disney niche on YouTube is entirely saturated. So it's extremely hard to break through the noise on there. It doesn't mean that we don't go to Disney. It's just we're not like prioritizing that type of content on our channel much longer, really at all.
I take Maisie once or twice a week because we're about 30 minutes from Disney. So we're still going. It's just not filming it anymore because it just didn't do well for us.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Disney cruises, completely different though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Disney content, like the land-based Disney trip, it was like people were like, nope, we didn't want to see that. We didn't ask for this. Like, what are you doing here? Where's your cruise content? That's what we want. But that's how it goes, I guess, with the Disney world. You got to really get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got your favorite couple came in. What's up, YFC?
Thank y'all.
Sheldon and Key.
Yes. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being channel members, and welcome in Sipping with Meat Night as well.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Yes. So let's get into the Aqua talk now. I want to start with Paul because, let me not tear my stuff up. I want to start with Paul. What were your first impressions, like getting on the ship? Like, it's brand new ship, right? That's only sailed, maybe I think it came from Southampton, and then it did New York, like maybe 1 or 2 sailings, and then we got on board. What did you think when you first stepped on the ship?
First impressions. First of all, embarkation day is one of my favorite days. If anybody knows me, I am hyped when it comes to embarkation day, and so especially when it's a new ship. So I went on the ship, great expectations, and then I thought it was beautiful. I walked in on the ship. That atrium was great. Right away, I saw the difference because the casino was almost near my stomach. So it was like right there. So it was right there. So right away I saw a difference in terms of, because I've been on Prima and Viva. So right away I saw what the difference was. And then, so I don't want to go too far. So first impressions, okay. I thought it was a beautiful ship. And I thought it's like, okay, we're gonna do this. A few little things happened on the first day that I was not used to on other ships. And sometimes they say Inaugural, they have to work out the kinks. And sometimes that's why a lot of people don't like Inaugurals when it came to me booking the restaurant reservations, for example. And so the thing is, when I'm a solo cruiser, it's a little bit more difficult for me when it comes to restaurant reservations, because when you look online, it'll always say minimum of 2 people. And I don't want them trying to charge me anything extra than just the 1. And so I usually wait to get on the ship. And so when it comes to Prima and Viva, I was like, okay, what are we doing here? Usually they would have it in the big theater, would be open, and then they had us squeezing into these smaller spaces. So a little inconvenient right away, but I thought like, okay, all right, I see you, Aqua. So I was impressed initially with what I saw with the ship.
Yeah. That's interesting you said that too, because I noticed that when we were watching your vlogs that you like started in one line and you were like, well, I'm gonna go to this other spot because they're saying the line there is a little shorter. We actually did book our stuff online, and it does the same thing with us for a party of 3. It kind of wants to push us to do a party of 4, and I was like, well, I'm gonna check 4, but they better not charge me for this extra person.
Exactly. Yeah, same
but then
thing.
we got on board and found out RJ was free anyway, so that worked out.
So that's good.
Yeah. Under, what was it? Under 18 was free. I think they just changed it to 12, but at the time it was under 18 was free for special dining. So,
and I think communication is key, because I just happened to be in the line and there was some workers, oh, you can go over there. And so it's like, but it wasn't like an announcement until later on. So when the person told me, I was like, all right, you ain't say less. I went right to the hibachi spot and then was able to get on a much shorter line and get my reservations done.
Gotcha. Now, Marley and Matthew, did you guys do Prima or Viva before too?
We don't really do Norwegian. We haven't had the best of luck sailing Norwegian, and we booked Aqua. Gosh, I became a travel agent in January, and I quickly booked Escape and Aqua right after finishing their education courses, and we did not have the best experience on Escape, and we were actually going to cancel Aqua, but we had already done the final payment. So we're like, you know what? We had Maisie on Escape. Let's just leave her home. We'll eat the cost and just do Aqua, like just ourselves, and see if it's a different feel. And we absolutely loved Aqua. Like, Aqua changed our mind about Norwegian. So no, we haven't done any of the newer ships besides Aqua.
Yeah, we've only done Escape, the Gem, and Dawn. So a lot of like those older class ships. So no experience with the Prima class at all before this one.
Yep.
Gotcha. Do you feel like, it sounds like the ship at least met your expectations and got above what you had previously experienced on Norwegian?
100%.
Yeah, I would say absolutely. Within the first impressions, I was kind of waiting for that like moment, right? Like when you get onto a cruise ship and they like bring you into like a big atrium or anything, like they kind of just like ushered us into a casino on the entrance, like going onto the ship. But everything was just like so clean and bright and different than any of our other Norwegian experiences. So right there, we were like, this is going to be a great cruise.
Yeah.
And we went from our embarkation day was like, all right, we're like the third group of people ever to be on this ship. Let's start filming a tour right now, right in the middle of embarkation day.
Yep.
So if you saw our ship tour, it's on embarkation day, and it's a little chaotic because like everybody is just walking around looking at all the new stuff and not sure where to turn. So,
and we fun fact, Paul, we were also in line, in that very long line, for food reservations because we were so late booking. We were the third couple. Once they split the line, we followed them into the hibachi restaurant. So we got to kind of skip all that and go right to.
Oh, great. Yeah.
That's a win for real. Because that line, I didn't even see that line. I don't know if I had like blinders on or what, or if I was just so excited to be on a new ship. Completely missed the fact that we walked into a casino. We walked back down there like a couple days later. I was like, where'd these slot machines come from? Were these here when we got on?
I thought they was rolling me in and rolling them out every night or something.
I totally did not notice though.
Well, we had to pass it to get to our restaurant reservation, so we definitely knew that was right there. So
So it's not set up like that on Viva.
It's not.
Is it?
It's not. It's not.
Okay.
No, it isn't. It's this. So this, right on the first floor, it's kind of like Cruise Next, and there's like a store right down there. So it's totally. So for this class, they totally revamped it to have the casino, and then on the next level, they have all the onboard credit, Cruise Next, and all that stuff right near the Starbucks. So totally different in terms of that respect.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
I personally love that it was no smoking in there because and that made such a huge difference.
I didn't even realize that, but yeah, it makes sense because then it would be whipped in all the way through the atrium when people are trying to enjoy the shows.
It would be,
Wow,
yeah. And I'm more likely to go to the casino if it's no smoking. Like I never made it on this ship, but when it's a smoke, when I'm not walking into a room full of smoke, I just don't care for it. So when casinos are like that on ships or on land, I'm just like, nah, I'll pass.
Yeah. You know, I would be more inclined to gamble if it's non-smoking because sometimes on some ships they have like the non-smoking section, the smoking section. Sometimes the games you really want is in the smoking section. So I was like, I'm not staying over here.
I'm curious if everyone here like went into Aqua blind. Like, did you look at any reviews or any photos like prior, or did you just go into it like completely unknowing?
We just went for it. Like we were brand new to Norwegian, so never been on any Norwegian ship before Aqua. And I just became a travel agent in December. Ray's been doing it for a while. But I did pretty much the same thing you did, Marty. Like as soon as I finished my training, I went ahead and booked it. It was the first thing that I got on the books for us, I think, after I got trained. But had never really been on any Norwegian ships. I had watched videos of some of the people that we follow that have been on Norwegian before. like Parkers on the Go, Sid Cruiser, MH Family. I watched some of their videos, but I didn't watch anything that was Aqua specific. I really wanted that to be brand new. And so it worked out because I think sometimes we spend a lot of time like trying to study a ship a little bit so we know what we want to do and what we want to record and where we want to go and all of that. And I was just like, it's a new cruise line to us. I just want to experience it. And that I think that made a difference.
Yeah. We close.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. We had to a lot of times, like Kiki said, we like to try to figure it out first so we know what to do, where to go, what to do, and what to see. But like this one, we and I didn't even know until Kiki said it that they have like the freestyle cruising where you don't have to dress up, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, you just kind of cruise. And so that's the kind of thing we fell into. We was just like, okay, we just gonna cruise and see what's going on, and that's what happened. And so with that came a lot of, man, I don't feel like vlogging this today. I just want to relax and chill.
Yeah.
You see stuff, you're like, man, I wish we had the camera. Oh well.
Yeah.
It just kept moving. So
yeah. Did anybody have like a favorite first day moment that you recall from day one? Yeah. It sounded like Paul's was just like getting on the ship. Like
I just you know what? To be honest, I enjoyed my first day in general. That whole day, kind of experiencing the differences that was different since it's this Prima class, plus trying something new like Plantieri. And so that's the first thing I did. So well, in terms of the question before, when I think we were the second sailing, I believe, because the first sailing went from London to, it was supposed to be Boston, but then there was some issues with the weather that it ended up in New York. Then it went from New York to Miami. So we were the second sailing. So content creators probably still was trying to put out content, which content I didn't get to see until after I actually came back from the cruise. And so I knew some of the specs. I just wanted to see kind of like what was different from between Prima Viva and this new. So I knew about the Aqua slider. I knew about the Thai restaurant that was going to be new. I didn't know it was going to take the place of Food Republic until I got on the ship. I thought it was going to be an additional restaurant. And I also knew about Plantieri. So when I went on ship, I was open. I was like, okay, let's get through these restaurant reservations. And then after that, and it was inconvenient, but it wasn't like a hassle that like made my day, I just kind of like was patient, and I enjoyed, having to see, okay, what is this about the entertainment, having to go to the first day, trying Plantieri, which I liked. I don't know if anybody tried Plantieri. I tried it one time. So I wanted to try that new experience, getting into my room, doing my room review, doing all those other things. So I think in general, it was like a great day. Like in general, everything, just exploring the ship and seeing what the ship was about and seeing some of the similarities. So if you've never seen the others, you kind of got to see, okay, this is kind of the same. This is different, and so go forward from there.
Yeah. I think for us, we had kind of two standout moments, one really good and one really bad. Like day one, the first thing we find out after we get on board is that the print show is canceled. And so I was immediately, I'm like, I'm mad already. I'm already upset. Like
that was big disappointment. That was a big disappointment. Oh yeah. That was a big
very disappointing.
I would like my whole trip to be refunded right now. Let me stay on.
Well, that's what everybody said, right? Everything, the things that we saw about Norwegian were like, as soon as you get on board, go try to book your shows, right? And so we immediately go to where you book the show, and the lady is like, no, we don't have it on this sale. And we were like, we're getting off.
Right now.
And not only that, they didn't have any shows that you would book, which is really weird for Norwegian. You'd always reserve the time so that you don't have this influx of people going in one more than the other. And so it was kind of like no reservations at all. I'm not sure, new ship, I'm not sure if the reservation system wasn't up and running. And then you heard why Prince wasn't going on, right? What happened to Prince?
I heard, but go ahead and tell our listeners if they would like to know what happened.
So I heard they was running them to the ground so much that like some of them may have had injuries. They were tired. It was because they were doing like all these pre-cruises, and they kept on having to do these shows over and over again. And so by the time they got to ours, I guess the dancers was just worn out. So they had to cancel it because of the sake of the dancers. So I was like, okay, I mean, what you gonna do? Disappointing, but you know.
It was disappointing, but I do get it. They need to take care of the performers.
Yeah.
And they definitely had a lot of pre-shows before it got to us, because they were, I know they had at least one that, like, for our host agency, had an event and they performed at that. And then they had a couple there was a New York sailing, and then there was that Miami sailing too that was like I don't know, it was the media preview, something like that. That was right before we got on board. They did that too. And so I don't know if they performed for that one or not, because that was right before we got on, but it sounded like they had their work cut out for them before we even got to get on the ship.
So here's my question. How intense is the show that you injure yourself?
I don't know.
I want to see the show now for real, because if you can injure yourself on the show, I need to know how intense, because I guess, Prince was active, so you know he moved a lot.
We're gonna come back to that in a second, but first we got a couple comments. Danny said Portholes and Pixie does have the cutest almost 2-year-old, and they were on the match game, and the baby made an appearance. We just saw the baby make an appearance here. Clap it up for the baby, y'all. She really is the cutest.
Oh, thank you. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, Carnival Cruise addicts seems to disagree because they think Paul is the cutest. Just saying. Okay, CCA. No, I'm just messing with y'all. But let's see. Meet and I are in the building. Welcome in. LF McKinley said, I love the excitement of embarkation day and love watching boarding. Yeah, it's always a fun day. Always a fun day. Let's see. We got Julie B that came in. Welcome in.
Hey.
Welcome in. Who else? A Fuller Life Now. Kathy. Welcome. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm trying to get through. See it with C's in the building. Welcome in, and thank you for being a channel member. A Fuller Life. Oh, Together We Travel. Welcome. Oh, we have a question. YOLO. What impressed you all the most about Aqua compared to other newer ships out there? Oh, good question.
Man.
Okay.
Who wants it first? Who going for it?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Indulge Food Hall.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely incredible. I don't want to say we're picky eaters, but we love food and we like to eat. And I thought everything we ordered from Indulge Food Hall was absolutely incredible. It blew like Hudson's out of the water for us. I don't know, man. It was just so good.
Honestly, like it was one of those things where it was just so unexpected. One of the things that we said on our last Norwegian cruise was like, I wish they had something that has some variety and was more of like a quick service option. And then we get on Aqua and it's like, okay, they're actually listening to the feedback from people and the quality of the food and just how fast they got it out and the technology aspect, being able to order on the iPads. It's just, I want to see that adapted across cruise lines because it was just really good and it was able to like take place of the buffet because on Aqua, the buffet is really tiny.
Really small.
And it's because they're trying to funnel all that traffic down to Indulge, which honestly I think had better food for our experience.
Yeah.
I agree. That we went to Indulge. That was the first place we went, right? Like once we got on the ship and went to get, I think after we did like our muster and everything, which they told us we didn't do and we had to go back again. But we did our muster and then we went straight to Indulge. And Indulge was so good. Even before we even got the food, I was just like, I love the concept of this. Like just being able to sit at the table, order what we want. The view, like we sat outdoor because they do have indoor and outdoor seating, but we were able to sit outside and like look at the Miami skyline while we sat there and ate lunch on embarkation day. So, I mean, that was great. I agree with you guys.
I let my hair down and ate good food. So
I want to just a bonus one. The observation lounge on Aqua is absolutely incredible. It's so breathtaking and there's just so much seating and I do a lot of work from cruise ships, so like I was able to like utilize that whole entire space for a good chunk of the cruise.
The Wi-Fi speed was great.
The Wi-Fi was great too. Yeah. So like that area, I just want to like make sure like if people are thinking about going on Aqua, like you'll spend a lot of time in the observation lounge. You're just like chilling out.
Yeah. I think spots like that on Aqua I preferred even over like the pool deck on Aqua, because pool deck was just mass craziness all the time to me. But observation deck was always real chill. A lot of times I had little snacks and stuff out there for you, little things you could get to drink. The view was amazing. I could see that being an incredible spot if you were doing like an Alaska cruise and you got that big, beautiful view without having to be outside in the cold, you know, perfect.
Absolutely. I like that area. That area is really nice. And it was one of because I'm one of them guys that just chill. When I cruise, I'm on vacation.
You really
and because I don't get to go and get to move around get to go on vacation that often. When I go on vacation, I try to enjoy every bit of it. I know that we have to work and we have to do this and do that, but I just be like, woo, where can I chill? That place was good, and the food hall that you guys talked about, definitely. I think that should be adapted to all cruise lines one way or another, where you don't where they don't increase the price of your cruise, because now you're gonna give away some more free food. So
So let's talk about where Aqua shines. So the new places, right? So we have Plantieri, which I tried. And I'm not a vegan. I'm not really a plant-based eater, but I enjoyed the food, and it kind of gives other people options where maybe they may be limited in options. Thai restaurant, not a lot of Thai food on cruise ships these days. One of my favorites is Gigi's on Carnival, some of the Vista class ships, and I loved Sukhothai. Thai food is one of my favorites, and it was great to be able to have that option. And then also the sports area was phenomenal to me. The fact that it was the first Aqua slide coaster at sea, the fact that they did not charge for it, that was I thought immediately it was going to be at least $15 and would be a reservation system. The fact that the only thing up there was like tea time, that was for $5, and everything else was like free of charge. I thought that was so impressive to me. And obviously, if you've been on Viva, there's no more racetrack. So if you're going on Aqua looking for the racetrack and the cars, it took the place of that.
Ray was looking for the racetrack. Ray wanted the racetrack.
It took the place of that. Sorry, Ray. And so it took the place of that on the Aqua, where it is going to be on Viva and Prima. And so, but I loved it up there. It was so great. Like it's really a place that, and what I liked about it, it was a lot of adults up there.
Yeah,
it was a lot of adults up there. It was adults trying to have fun and burn off some steam as well. It wasn't just like kids running around, and so I enjoyed that. I really did.
And you talked about it being all free with the exception of the $5 for tea time. Tea time was totally worth $5. You got so much. Did you guys do it too, Marley?
Yeah, and I absolutely hate golf, but we did it. We did it for the content, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun competing, and it was fun. Yeah, I would do it again.
It was a little different than like traditional. What is it? Mini golf on a ship. It had like some interactive parts.
I would do mini golf much more if it was like that, and not just okay. Let me stand here and make sure it gets down the line. Like that one was challenging, and then once you realize it, maybe after the first and second hole, that there was secret spaces that if you play in those, you can get to the cup faster than just okay. Let me get it around this corner and get through this maze. That was pretty cool.
That'll be in our next vlog coming out. I think the tea time stuff. See what C said. Yeah, cancellation of Prince show was a bummer. Absolutely. Yeah. We got Event Yours is in the building. Happy birthday, T. Today is T's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday, T. She says good evening to the panel, everyone on the chat. We got Travel Cakes Trips who came in.
Hey, how you doing?
Let's see who else came in. Monarch Elite Naturals. Monarch just celebrated a birthday too, so happy belated birthday to you too.
Happy birthday.
She said I could live at Indulge Food Hall. And that, you know what? I want to talk about that because Indulge Food Hall is on deck 8. And I felt like I could have spent my whole cruise on deck 8 and been just fine with that. Like I so much preferred that over being on the pool deck and like the upper decks like we're normally used to. Did you guys spend a lot of time there too? I know Marley and Matthew did because they was putting out their shorts the first, like the day we got on board of them like, when I'm gonna whisper so Maisie don't hear me. They was like, we don't have no
that's my favorite. The deck 8, just to be outside, and people don't realize. And I think I said that as a like a tip. If you don't want to go upstairs and be crowded by the pool, and you know it's gonna be a lot of people up there, find the side of the ship that has the shade. Right, it's always going to be one side. Find the side of the ship that has the shade, and you could get in the pool. You could get a chair, relax, and I just love that area. And so right next to all of the places, like you could get to the local bar and grill, you can get to Indulge Food Hall. The thing about Indulge Food Hall, I went there probably twice, but when I was on other ships, if you get there at certain times, it's so packed. And so I didn't do it all the time, depending on the time of the day that I felt like I wanted to go up there. But I felt like if you were going up there when it was just kind of like, you know, starting the lunch rush, I think it's great to be able to get a seat and to be able to have what you want, especially, you know, because we all know that if you are at a specific restaurant, right, you can only order from there. So the spaces that fill up in the general areas really fill up quickly. And so say you want something that's not at the specific place you're sitting at, you really can't order it. I've never tried to ask a waiter, can I, you know, if they have a tablet. And it would have been nice if they have like a tablet. It's like, okay, I know you're here, but like I really want something else, so that you can have like, you know, something else than wherever you're sitting at the moment. But it's a great place. A lot of people love it. They love the Indian food. What was your favorite at Indulge? What was everybody's favorite? I know a lot of people love the Indian food.
The fried okra was my favorite.
Is that the barbecue spot?
The fried okra, the barbecue spot, but specifically the fried okra. And then the chicken legs was probably my second favorite.
Yes.
Those grilled chicken legs were really good.
Oh, they're so
They
good.
were really
I would say the beef kebabs.
Okay.
I don't know
I didn't
where
try
they
the
were
beef
from.
kebabs.
Those were so good.
It was like
Now I gotta go
Mediterranean.
back.
Man, I don't remember what booth it was from.
Yeah.
Well,
I couldn't even name all the booths, to be honest with you. I just know the foods that I like.
And what I like about it is that the experience is different, can be different between lunch and dinner. So so don't think that it's just one menu all day long. It's like you go for lunch, you can get something. You go for dinner, you get something different.
And breakfast. We went for breakfast one time
breakfast
too.
was
Yeah.
good. Go
Oh,
pancakes.
they were all
Oh
breakfast.
my God.
Wow. I didn't even know they opened that early. I never went up there that early.
I need to figure out what the recipe was for those pancakes. That wasn't out the box. From scratch.
Them special pancakes.
Right.
Welcome in Q Creations. I also saw House of X came in.
Mess around how you bite your bottom lip.
We had a question. Travel Case Trips. Just curious, does NCL allow the hiding of cruise ducts? Never really heard of anyone that mentioned it.
We found some.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't find any. Did you find any?
Too, but we didn't do it on this trip.
No. Because we normally make it a game with her and go and search for ducks. We did. We were sitting down listening to the guy play guitar when we were drinking a Starbucks or something, and there was one right in the plant.
Oh,
Yep. You remember that interaction?
Cool.
I do.
Yeah.
So this sounds like they are allowed.
I wanted to. I thought about it. I thought about doing it as we got closer. Kiki was like, "We got way too much stuff we got to bring with us." So
yeah, we had way too much stuff. And we had this inside cabin for the first time. I was like, "Please, can we not take everything that we normally take?"
We bought, what was it, like 100 ducks?
Oh my God!
We bought like 100 ducks to go on Icon. And I put the night before, I put all the tags on with the rubber bands, all ready to go.
Yep.
You know how when you get there and you get to the porters, get your bags and everything. I set the bag down trying to give the guy my luggage, and I didn't realize I didn't have them until we got on the ship.
Oh,
we left
man.
the whole bag of 100 ducks.
It was 100 ducks with all of our tags on it.
So somebody found a lot of ducks that day. And I'm sorry, Paul, did you share what your favorite food was from Indulge Food Hall? Did we miss it?
The Indian food also was my favorite. I did have the barbecue as well, like some parts of the barbecue, but I usually have it for lunch. I never really always went back for dinner, to have that experience. But the Indian food was impressive to me as well.
Welcome
Did anyone
in,
meet the Easter Bunny?
and Yolanda.
Hey, how you doing?
What'd you say, Marley?
Did anyone meet the Easter Bunny?
We did not. Was the Easter Bunny on there?
Where?
He was.
What? No, I missed it. I did not.
I
The
wasn't
Easter
looking for
Bunny.
him either, though.
That was, let's see, Easter would have been the day we were supposed to be in Great Stirrup Cay, right?
Oh yeah, we met the singing cafeteria staff.
You know what? Let's talk about that a little bit. Did you guys notice that when Great Stirrup Cay got canceled, they did all these things to try to like cheer people up? Did you guys get that feel too? We went to, was it breakfast we went to that morning?
Yeah.
It was like shortly after they announced that we weren't going to be going there. And they just had like groups of people walking around singing the whole time we were in there. Is that a normal Norwegian thing? Because I just kind of felt like it was something they added in to try to cheer people up that were maybe
they were they was a trio, a quartet.
They were literally walking around with coffee, like donut, like just trying to cheer people up. I think it was funny.
I think I did my ship tour that morning, so I was like, all right, I'm going right back to bed. I didn't see any singing or any of that stuff. Wow, that's crazy.
So that's funny. We all kind of missed different things because I never saw the Easter Bunny. I never saw him. So you guys actually ran into him?
He was so sweaty. Yeah, we were waiting for our Starbucks, and he was sweaty.
And then when we went to Hudson's for dinner later that night, I was like, "Oh, is the Easter Bunny going to be making an appearance?" And they were like,
they were so confused.
Yeah, they had no idea what I was talking about. So I don't know if this Easter Bunny was actually associated with Norwegian Cruise Line, to be honest. Maybe someone just brought their Easter Bunny costume.
It could. Hey, we had a Santa Claus on our last celebrity cruise that just wore a Santa suit the whole week. He was a guest, and he had on the Santa, and it was February. It was not even Christmas. Like,
I didn't see Mrs. Claus. I saw some ladies with him, but I don't think they was Mrs. Claus though. He was a celebrity that week.
Welcome in, Fuzzy Adventures. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome in, Siobhan Parker. Thanks for being here, fam.
Hey, what's happening?
Listening while packing. Okay, so my cruising family said they were singing during breakfast on the Maxwell cruise too. So I guess maybe that's the thing for Norwegian. Maybe they sing. We thought they just was trying to cheer people up because people were mad for a couple of reasons, right? Like, first of all, Bimini had already been canceled. That was supposed to be one on our lineup, and that got canceled maybe a week or two before the cruise. Well, then we're on here, and Great Stirrup Cay, we can't port at Great Stirrup Cay, or it's not safe to tender or whatever the issue was. We couldn't go there. So now we have a cruise that was supposed to be going to Bimini and Great Stirrup Cay that is now a 5-day cruise to only Nassau. So lots of unhappy people. And to top it all off, they did the announcement in the cabin saying that we couldn't go to Great Stirrup Cay at like 7 a.m. So all these people were in the Facebook complaining about their kids got woke up at 7 a.m. from the announcement. Like, it was just a whole thing that day.
It was wild.
It was something. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Are you the type that's a disappointing situation to you, or is it more like we're on the cruise, we just wanted to cruise anyway, it doesn't matter where we go? What do you think, Marley and Matthew?
We've never been to Great Stirrup Cay.
Yeah, I mean, so we were looking forward to going, but typically, like Nassau, we stayed on board because we've been on so many cruises this year already. We're like, we don't need to get off. This is a new ship. We want to experience it with less people on. I think that was the day we finally got a lounger.
Yeah, on Deck 8, which we were talking about earlier about how like that side of the ship, like, we had to get out there super early to actually like make sure we got a beach chair, and I stood out there for like 3 hours. But that was kind of our experience with it. Like, yeah, we wanted to go to Great Stirrup Cay, but it has all these new renovations that are going to be happening there too, right? So maybe when we actually get to experience, it'll be a more upgraded experience after all.
Yeah. They'll have all the renovations, and especially the big thing, you won't have to tender anymore. Like, and that's been, from what I hear, that's the issue that people come across usually when sailing there. Like a lot of times it's just not safe to tender there. So hopefully that changes. Have you been there before, Paul? I know you did a couple other Norwegian.
I've been there one time, so that was a part of a part of a charter cruise. So it's not really, it's not something I've been to like a lot, just that one time. And I think when you're a cruiser, you kind of had to deal with some of these disappointments, because there's been many cruises that they've had to change, they had to cancel, disappointing. They would give you back obviously the port fees, and so I saw my port fees back on my credit account, on my account. But it's kind of like the life of a cruiser. You know that it's a potential because of waves, especially as a tender port, that you may have to miss something. So I was a little disappointed, but wasn't overly disappointed. I wanted to kind of like go out there and relax and let it be like a beach day. So I took that opportunity eventually just to go up and just lay down on a lounge chair and just relax.
That's what we did too.
That's that the day that I got that like day bed on deck 8, I was out there like 6 a.m. to get that day bed. Like you had to be there early to get something like that, because there was only I think 3 on each side. Yeah. And then once I got it, it was kind of like, I don't want to move. Like I'm never getting this back if I get off here right now.
So speaking of, that day we went out there. So the day that the last port got canceled, we were out there just chilling, and we were sitting around. I went and did some ship tour stuff up on the deck, because we were up on the deck where we were on the level where the pool was. So I went up the level above, got a lot of that content, and that's where the kids area was and some other stuff. And as soon as we started gathering our stuff, I looked out, because I be watching people. I looked out the side of my eye and I seen this man do like this. I said, what is this dude doing? And I said, oh, I know what's going to happen. So as soon as we got the camera equipment together and Kiki got up and RJ got up, that man slid over to that chair we was on with the quickness. You would have thought that it was a game we was playing. Yeah. And I seen him, and then what was crazy was somebody was waiting too. And I was like, oh, you got to be quicker than that, because that dude, he literally, I seen him as soon as we started gathering up. We had just started. We hadn't even moved. He did just like this. He was like,
he started inching
closer and closer. And as soon as RJ got up, I saw his left foot shift towards the chair. And as soon as we got up, he was like, pew!
But you had to though. Like it was so crowded on that deck. Like it was never
buddy.
Like that. I won't say deck 8 felt crowded, because I felt like it was spaced well, but it was just everything was gone. Like
deck 8 is where the pool is.
No, deck 8 is where those like the infinity pools are, and the day beds and stuff. Now deck 16 or 17, where the actual pool deck is, that was always crowded.
Yeah. Okay, so we was up there where the pool was, but still, he was. I don't know. I've never seen anybody stalk a chair like that. But stalk the lounger. I never seen anybody. I was like, what is going on? I mean, he slid over real, and I said, Key, look at him. And as soon as we got up, he sat right down, threw all the stuff on the thing, so nobody take it, and moved on.
Travel Cake Trip said that would be very disappointing, missing some of the anticipated ports. We understand things are not under their control, but hopefully they would do what they could to make people happy. And they did. They added a lot of like onboard activities and things like that, which that's normally what you do.
And you got to have in that industry, you got to have an alternative ready real quick, because anything can happen. And here's the thing about it. Like there were people complaining like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to make the best of this day. I couldn't believe. Now if they would have got your tail out there with them giant waves and that tender, which ain't built like a cruise ship, capsize, then you gonna be complaining, I can't believe they have me out here almost drowning. Which one do you want? Do you want to not go, or do you want to get on the tender? Make up your mind.
I'm gonna be safe. I want to be safe on the ship if I gotta choose. Silver C said they're supposed to be building a pier at Great Stirrup Cay soon. Yes, they are. If I remember right, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I think by December of 2025 it's supposed to open.
Oh, that'd be great.
That's what they say.
That'd be great.
So
what they say.
Y'all sound like I don't believe it.
Everybody's going that course. It seems like Carnival. Everybody's going that way now. It makes it so much better instead of having to deal with these waves and trying to get a tender. It makes it so much better.
I'm gonna come back to your question, LaQuinta. I want to go to Kathy because it's related to this. Since the cruise line canceled the island stop, did they compensate the passengers? The only compensation they really owe you for a missed port is your port fees for that port. Right. And so they did give us those back. I saw those appear back on my account while we were on the ship, just like Paul said. There's not really compensation for it. Now, there are travel insurance packages out there that offer like port cancellation coverage, where you might get a little bit of something back from that. But if you read your cruise contract, they all say ports are not guaranteed. So they're not, they really don't have to give you anything back, and they aren't going to accept those port fees. So.
Or unless if you book something on that port.
Yeah, like you'll get your excursion money back.
Now, the biggest thing is if you go to a port and you book through a third party, so you got to hope that the third party be like, I'm sorry you didn't come. We'll get your money back. Because some of them be like, well, you messed up. You knew the consequences. So.
Marley said we each got $30 back in port fees. Yep. Cruising is here. Hello, Cruising. Welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for being here.
And I saw somebody else said they were new to the channel too, and I don't remember where it was. Fuzzy Adventures. We did speak to Fuzzy Adventures. Hey there. Now LaQuinta had a question. Where's LaQuinta? Where to go? I gotta start starring these questions.
It's gotta be up higher.
No, I just got. Hey, Carnival Cruise Addicts, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Where'd it go? Oh, is there one thing you wish you'd done more of? For us, it's the shows. Like every time we tried to see a show, it was just way too crowded. Even when we would go probably 15-20 minutes ahead of time, it would be like standing room only already. I wish we could have done more of that.
You would almost have to get to those shows at least 30 minutes before the last one ended.
Yeah. That was disappointing for us.
That was crazy. And the one comedy show we did go to, man, we barely made it. We said, first of all, when I go to the comedy show, I'm not sitting in the front because I'm not going
not ever.
You're not going to crack a joke on me at all. But at the same time, where we sat in a good spot, but you got to get to those on that particular ship, especially the comedy club, because it's so small. To me, it's so small. You have to get to those shows at least 30 minutes. And that, even for the theater itself, like the theater is big, but it filled up fast. I don't know if people were like standing in the aisleways waiting for the show to be over with, so they saw the show twice or what. But it was people there, and we got there to one show. We probably got there, like Kiki said, 20-25 minutes before the race start. It was full already. It was full already. People were literally standing in the aisleways, which is a fire hazard, watching the show. And then it was a lady who even had her wheelchair. Now, to me, I would have moved out the way so she could be able to see the show. I would have, shifted, but not them people. They wanted to see the show, and ma'am, you should have got there quicker than you did.
That's crazy.
It was crazy though.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what about Marley and Matthew? Was there one thing you wish you would have been able to do more of on board?
So we didn't go to one night party.
Yeah. We saw your guys' vlogs where Ray was out at night at like the 90s party and stuff. And I'm like,
yes.
What were we doing? We didn't have the baby with us. Like, this is our prime time to go do these things. And we're just.
We said we were going to do a whole lot. That we had a drink package. We're like, we're going to drink heavily one night. We didn't. We thought we were going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, but all these night parties, that's one thing that we missed out on for sure.
Yeah.
And just +1 on the getting to shows early. I think it's because in the Aqua Theater, it's a modular theater. So like they have like seating that can like move and, be there like static.
Yeah.
But it did fill up really quickly. And when we went to the Fleetwood Mac Rumors show, which was awesome, we just like were able to sneak in there. We're like, if we want to go to any more of these shows, we need to be here, like you said, a half hour early. So. Yeah. That is definitely the takeaway.
Elements was so good.
Yeah, Elements, the magic show.
No, Element. What was it called? Elements with the.
Yeah, it was a magic show though.
Yes, but not the actual magic show.
Right. The Elements is with the dancers, and it was almost like reminiscent of different seasons and
Yes.
snow
Yes.
and
Okay.
yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, I think I got into everything. I wish I would have did more of the sports area because I thought that was impressive. So
Yeah.
when I saw I don't like getting drenched, and when I saw the slide coaster, and I was like, oh, it's like you get a little wet, but you don't get drenched. I was like, oh, I should have did that. Like I should have bought stuff that I could have done that. I guess if I had some, Ray and Kiki wasn't running around the ship, maybe I could have had them do the darts. I could have did the darts with them, and tea time. I thought that was like traditional golf, and now you're saying that it's not, and so maybe I
It's
should have
not.
maybe I should have tried that. So that would have been a different experience. So I think I went to the parties as much as possible. I went to Elements, and I went to Rumors was amazing. I saw it on Viva, and I saw it on this ship. The singers are phenomenal. Made me want to get that record. How good that they sang those songs. And then the thing about it is, well, when it's Carnival, another cruise ship, I usually try to get to the theater like 30 minutes before, at least to get the seat that I really want anyway. But doing that for the smaller venues like Sid Norman's is ridiculous. Like you would get there 30 minutes before there's already a line of people, and then you get there anything after that, then there's no guarantee you're gonna get a seat. I stood up for I think it was the Michael Jackson tribute. So I stood up for that. I was able to get I was able to get there 30 minutes before for the Selena and CC Cruz. I think I'm messing up that name. Tribute. So I was able to get there to see that because I waited 30 minutes before, and I was able to get a seat right at the stage for that. So, but there was some show I was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't know what that show was. It was like, if I was in there in time, I saw the line. I'm not trying to stay on this line. Absolutely not. And so, so that was my biggest thing. They said they made it bigger. Improv definitely was bigger, right? So on
Yeah.
Viva and Prima, they're right diagonal from each other. And so they're both really small venues, and they try to do all these things and game shows and bingo. So improv being on a different floor than Sid Norman's, improv is definitely bigger. But I went in there one time for bingo. It was packed for bingo.
It was always like people just hanging out. Like there was always just
Yeah.
crowds of people even hanging out of the door every time we walked past there. It was crowded all the time.
And Sid Norman still, I stayed there for content. Where if it wasn't for content, I'd be like, I'm out of here. I need a seat. And
Yeah.
so, and then Elements, I'm not sure because of the fact that they didn't do the reservations, because I'd never seen it that crazy in the theater. Never. Like,
So
with
normally you could do reservations on Norwegian. Is that
especially for their prime shows. I'm sure like for Prince would be like a reservation system. If they had a show like Deal or No Deal, it would be you'd reserve it, in the app. And some shows they would like that. Maybe they have it more than one day. So if it was really popular, then you would be able to still see it without it being overly crowded in the theater. And so, yeah, I mean, Elements I saw was on the last day. When I tell you, people were standing up trying to see this show, and I
that was
think
the
it was
last
the
show
last
we tried
show.
to go to too, and we couldn't get in.
And that was the last show of the night. So I was like, I got to go see this. And people were standing up. I've never seen it like that, where people were literally standing up trying to see this show. It was crazy.
It was a lot. That I think that hurt, like that they didn't do any kind of reservation system, because that would have helped a lot on that ship. It needed it for
I'm
sure.
thinking maybe it wasn't set up yet.
Maybe, but that I mean, it was the chat app not functioning and the app itself being a little wonky. Like there was a lot of little things like that. I think that we probably would have had a better experience if that stuff had been worked through a little bit, and then coupled with the overcrowding of a lot of areas and things like that. Those are where our hangups were. But I mean, we still had a good cruise, but those things I think could have made our experience a lot better.
Yeah.
Phyllis said, I'll be on this cruise in 3 weeks, hearing the same complaints of crowds and shops being too small in some places. Yeah. Well, I hope you have an amazing cruise, though.
I think you just have to pivot, right? So I think the biggest tip for this cruise is pivoting. So if you're not going to get to certain crowds. So for example, I know that you didn't really care for Hudson's, but Hudson's gave me the peace of mind of not having to be in a crowded space.
Yeah.
I knew when I went to the restaurant. I went to the Dulles twice, but I went to Hudson's for the most part for lunch, which I usually don't always do dining room. I would, I don't mind a buffet. Just get something quick and keep on moving. But for the fact that I know there'll be crowds, especially I'm by myself, as a solo cruiser, it's kind of harder to navigate to try to get a seat. Like you can't like have somebody get a seat, then you go get the food, somebody else get up, get the food, and you come back. And so that's harder to navigate in those kind of circles. And to know that I was able to get the Hudson's, I would be able to get a seat, to be in that beautiful open restaurant, not to be crowded, not to be around everybody. We already talked about the fact that we went to deck 8, and instead of going upstairs where you may not be able to find a chair, you could go chill out on deck 8 and just be able to have a seat and relax right there. Get in a hot tub, get into one of the infinity pools. And so if you know that you're gonna, so you just have to like kind of pivot and see like what is open. And one of the good things I like, right next to the elevator, if you tap it, it will show the capacity of the places that you want to go eat at. I don't know if you realize that.
No, I did not know that.
So right next to the elevator, I didn't show that on my videos either. So right next to the elevator, if you look at restaurants and you tap it, it will show like, okay, 80% full, 50% full. And so it kind of gives you then a heads up. It would give you a heads up of like, I ain't going there. Like their capacity. I'm not even trying to touch Hudson. I'm not even trying to touch Indulge, right? And so you kind of like would know just by doing that what to expect before you even like go anywhere. Yeah. So I thought that was a good. If you didn't know, that's a tip that you should like look into if you're going on that ship. Right on. It wouldn't be in the app. I don't think it's in the app. I've never seen it in the app. But that multi-purpose screen right near the elevators are really good to kind of be able to not only show you where things are, but also for the capacity of the restaurants.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the app a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I don't like this. I like the other app better. I don't know what this app is. On my last Norwegian, I was like, oh yeah, it was a new app. It's better, and I was like, okay, and I downloaded it, and I didn't care for it. Yeah,
it's a PDF file.
Yeah,
I was just about to say the same thing. It is literally a PDF. This is not an app.
Right.
Like, go for it, Matthew. You got stuff on your mind. I can see it.
Yeah, it was one of the things that I like doing with the apps. I can't like remember like a specific cruise line that does this, but I feel like a lot of them do it, where you would open the app and it would tell you like right now within that hour like what's going on around the ship, right? Yep. So if you kind of lose track of the agenda or whatever, as we're with the Norwegian app, like we said, it's a PDF where you have to scroll and everything is in a category. Yeah. So first you have to know what category you want to do, but like maybe you're like Ray and you just woke up from a nap and you're like, I don't know what I want to do. Right. So like you don't have that option. And it was kind of like, we thought those improvements were going to be there from Escape when we went in February to Aqua, and they weren't. And even just like little things like just viewing the menus and it's not a great overall user experience.
You can't really do anything with that.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to be able to like heart the things you want to do or add them to your calendar or anything like that to make it a little. I can maybe stomach having to feel through that whole PDF file if I can at least pick what I want to do, and then I only got to go through that file one time because I got my stuff on my calendar now. You can't even do that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what is it, Carnival that does like that? I think Carnival has like the best.
You can heart Disney stuff too.
But then you can see like what your partner hearted, like just those little things and being able to view the photos that you got taken.
On the
app. Not there.
Yeah, little things like that, like they feel little when you have access to them, but then when you take that away, that it feels kind of big, right? Like this definitely had an impact on my experience, right?
But here's the thing about it. Even with the old NCL booking website, remember that one was like just Excel spreadsheet because you had to you get the tabs and you move it over because everything was like this. And so if you're trying to see something specific like what's this charge or what's that charge, then you got to take it like an Excel spreadsheet and move it over and then it opens up the tab where you can really see it. I was like, what? And so what y'all say as far as the PDF version of the app, I believe it. Even though I looked at the app, I never looked at it as a PDF version, but now that I look at it, now that I think about it, when you guys talk about it, but I think about it, the website itself was a PDF. I mean, it was an Excel spreadsheet. So it's wild.
So it's on par, huh?
Right on track.
Keisha said that's a cool feature to digitally share venue capacity. Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, you have to play around that thing right by the elevator. You see it.
I watched one of your previous videos before the live started, and out of curiosity, all the photos always pricey. Photos can be pricey on ships. On that particular ship, like the single embarkation day photo was $29.99. And I thought that was crazy for one digital photo. The most valuable photo package I have seen is MSC. Theirs is always really inexpensive, and you get much more for your money. But that I don't even remember how much a package was on Norwegian. Did you happen to check that?
No, because once we said that them digital copies was $30, I ain't looked at nothing else. So, oh well, and it was over $200. High quality.
So. What'd you say, Marley?
It was over $200. He was trying to sell us a package. He was like, if you buy this package, like we'll give you, an album for free or like a picture frame for free. But it was over $200 for like 10 photos or.
Yeah, I didn't think the photos were that great either.
Yeah, they weren't the highest quality.
Yeah, they were way too much for what they were charging. But we got one more question here in the chat that I saw, and then I have one more, and then we coming up on an hour, and I don't want to hold up too much of you guys' time. So, C had a question. Where'd that go? Do you think some of these were inaugural glitches or something else going on? What y'all think?
I think the reservation system not being together was inaugural glitches. The print show not being, once again, they overworked them. So I think that was an inaugural glitch. I think when it comes to like the spacing is just the spacing. You can't do nothing more about it in terms of the capacity and some of the overcrowding areas. They don't have anything else to, they don't have anything where to put people. So then unless they have bigger venues. So I think some of them are inaugural glitches. That's why I would love to see some footage of the Prince Revolution show, because I'm sure it's going on now, even though we missed it. The missport is just a missport, it's just going to happen on any cruise ship anyway. What do y'all think?
I would say even if they were inaugural glitches, it was head and shoulders above any Norwegian experience that we've ever had. And it honestly made us really go back and think okay, maybe Norwegian is going to be a possibility going forward, right? Looking at, for instance, Luna that's coming out in April of next year. Before going on Aqua, we were that wasn't even a conversation. But after experiencing everything on Aqua, and I think it says a lot about Norwegian that they are making incremental improvements, right? These things take time, right? In order to create an app that is going to meet the expectations of customers, that's going to take time. In order to have entertainment that's going to cater to a wide demographic, same with the food hall, they're making those improvements, and I think that should say a lot to the marketplace. We actually met a former Norwegian cruise employee on this cruise who told us that they do a lot of work with customer retention because Norwegian has a hard time retaining their customers. And I can say with our experience, I guess they retained us. What did he say? It was something 1% or something. If you go on Norwegian's website and give them your email, guess what? You're going to get basically 5 to 10 emails within a week. They're going to start mailing you. So it's all in that effort to retain customers. But I honestly think they're going in the right direction.
By the way, Matt, they just added some cruises for Luna. So now it's going to come out in March of next year.
Oh, really?
So if you're going to go on the inaugural, March.
That's the one thing that bummed me out about us truly being on the inaugural sailing, and there was no swag, no gifts, nothing in the rooms. I was kind of bummed out about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was
looking forward
expecting
to that.
something too. A little bit of pomp and circumstance would have been
Yeah.
nice, but it was we didn't get any of that. Like
Nope.
it felt like a regular sailing.
Get on board. Come on.
Yeah,
The-
it should have been
I
some
think-
excitement, right? Like the first sailing
Yeah.
from Miami, yay! You know, it's like his
Yeah.
little gift and nothing, right?
Nothing.
Nope. They said, we got your money. You're good. Come on board.
I mean, even when we did Margaritaville at Sea, like when we did their inaugural, they gave us like a branded bag and a
Sunscreen.
koozie, sunscreen.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, just like you
That
said, a
is
little pomp and circumstance would have been nice.
Yeah, a little something to celebrate. But hey, I just thought maybe that was the Norwegian way. I didn't know. It's interesting to hear you guys say, like, even with those hiccups, that it was still, head and shoulders above your previous Norwegian experiences. That makes me feel like, maybe like, are we being too critical of it? Like, are we? I feel like we had a lot of things that didn't go right for us, but I don't know that I would completely write off Norwegian from it because we did have a good cruise. I did think the food was absolutely amazing. I did. Yeah. I enjoyed Hudson's actually. When we walked into Hudson's, the first thing we saw was the sunset. Yes. And it was gorgeous walking in there when the sun is setting at night. And I know a lot of ships have their dining room set where you get the pretty view, but it was something about that one, the way the sun was positioned or something, like everybody was out of their seats recording this sunset because of how beautiful it was. Like we had a lot of moments like that stood out. So I don't know. I think if we did Norwegian again, it would probably be a different class of ship just to try something else. I know Ray really wants to get on those go-karts on board on the racetrack. Yeah, so
absolutely.
I mean, if you go Viva, so you could kind of have a similar experience. You'll get the carts, but if you want to go bigger, then that's the thing. At least you have a similar experience. Because sometimes when you have a new ship and you having all this brightness, as Marley and Matt said, they went on a ship, it was like dark, the atrium was more brown, and now they come into this new experience and it's brightly lit, and so then to go to an older ship. But I think maybe Viva, I mean, it's not, this is Prima Plus, so this is Prima, and then you still get to go to the racetracks.
So C said they didn't get any gifts on World America either, and I'm really shocked by that because it must seem like they were going all. I mean, they had the news outlets out and everything. Like y'all couldn't throw some hats in their room or something, man.
They had they pulled that big cloth off that thing. They had that's what their money was at right there.
Oh wow,
that was pretty cool. They had a water cannon salute if you were able to get out there and see it. Hi Denise, welcome in. Okay, so my last question for everybody. Oh, CD said best ship we have been on was Encore for NCL, and that's one of the ones I think we talked about. Maybe
I think that's a Breakaway Plus class.
I think
I'm not mistaken.
It's either Breakaway or Breakaway Plus.
Yeah.
Griffin Lister really like that one too.
It seemed like it's a fan favorite. Like it's the one that I.
Well, I've been on the Joy. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was for a charter cruise, so I would have to go back on it to see how I like it with their stuff.
Yeah. My one question. Well, actually, I got two different questions. One for you, Paul, and one for Marley and Matthew. So, Marley and Matt, is this a ship that you would go back and take your daughter on?
My daughter right now, or my daughter in 2 years?
Your daughter, right? Like, was there anything about this ship that you thought, my daughter might like this?
Man, there's nothing she could really do. Like she's not potty trained, so she can't go in any of the pools. I don't know how it was for the splash pad. I don't know if you had to be potty trained for that splash pad. She would love the splash pad if she's allowed in it.
Yeah, and Norwegian doesn't have childcare until 3 years old. Yep. So that's another big consideration that we always put into whatever we're booking.
Hi.
That definitely would factor into the decision making, but I would say like if we were going to do Luna, for instance, Macy's gonna come and we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, the next cruise we're going on, they claim that they have a nursery for kids her age, but it's super limited to like 12 or 15 kids.
Yeah, I saw an Age Family Adventure video where they were like showing the kids area. And it looks pretty extensive. We're talking about World America now, but it's just something we always put into consideration.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about this ship, because I mean, of course, we cruise with our son. He's a little older. I think if he were younger, he probably wouldn't have enjoyed it this ship as much. I think he was at a good age where, you know, they had gaming tournaments and things going on, which he loves. He had a little bit of freedom and flexibility with the kids club. Even at the kids club, they were doing more big kid things, right? Like tournaments and gaming and all the kind of stuff that he likes. But if we would have took RJ on that ship at 5 years old, I don't think he would have enjoyed it that much.
This kids club for him, on at least on NCL, worked out because he was able to be with kids more of his age and his height and size. Because on previous cruises we've gone on, he was at that range where he wasn't able to be with the bigger kids. So he 90% of the kids in here, he was taller than most of them, or he was older than most of them. So he was like, he didn't really want to hang out. But this one, he met the age range where he could go hang out with kids his age. He made a couple friends.
Because they had that special age range that was just for like 10 to 12-year-olds, and that was perfect for him.
Okay.
Yep. Because normally he's either lumped in with almost all the time he's lumped in with kids that are younger than him, because he's always too young to go up to the teenage age. So, but that worked.
The arcade on Aqua too, though, right? Like, I know you guys.
Yeah, that was nice.
Arcade, like, I'm sure that was just one of those things where, hey, you can go to this arcade and just play all these games, the bowling, just great experience overall.
The arcade, the stadium with all the table games and the tea time, like all of that, like that kind of stuff, his age range, that's perfect for him. Even the slide coaster, he was too scared of the drop, but the slide coaster he enjoyed. Marley wasn't a fan of the drop either, I don't think, right?
I was so terrified, but I did it twice. I guess there's a drop slide on the next cruise we're going on, but it's a water slide. I'm gonna try and face my fears again and do it. We'll see. But yeah, drops. The floor does not need to be falling out from beneath. It has no business doing that.
Oh gosh.
That's the kind of slide I need. Like, I need the floor to fall, because if you depending on me to just go, it's probably not gonna happen. That's why when we did like zip lining on the cruise, remember I was trying to beg the guy to just push me. I was like, I can't walk, please push me.
No, let's clarify that when
I did
zip lining on the cruise. That drop slide, I realized halfway down that I need to keep my head up, because the seams, if you lay back like they say you're supposed to lay back, the seams are going to knock you out eventually, because every time you hit a seam, it's like so I was like, oh crap, let me sit my head up.
That's because you don't have hair. You know what? I had hair, so I couldn't feel that seam.
We'll be right back.
Okay, now different question for you, Paul. You cruise solo. I think you cruise with solo all the time. Right? I don't think I've seen you like cruise. Well, you did. You said you do some group cruises too. Do you think?
No, I sail sometimes, but I don't always try to get my people in the cameras written all the time. So so there's sometimes I may be with family, but based upon that, like, so I'm solo in terms of my cabin, but family's around, but I'm not getting them in the camera, in the view. Yeah.
Do you think this is a good ship for like someone that's a brand new solo cruiser? Would you recommend this ship for them?
So I didn't put that on this set of vlog series. I feel like I went to the solo meetups. So the one thing about Norwegian, they have solo meetups. The last time I went on Prima, excellent solo meetup program. They had the solo meetups usually in they had it one time like in the bar area. The one right near the steakhouse, whatever that bar area is. The first night they did it there, and then other times they would do it in the Improv or Sid Norman's. And so it was scheduled. We knew every day that we would meet up at 5 o'clock. It was enclosed. We could talk. We could have games, and we just had like our own space to do all of that. And so it was good. And then they would arrange things for us, like they arranged, for example, the go-karts. Right, so they arranged that so that we could go as together to do that, and then we did that. And then sometimes if we wanted to go to dinner together, we could do that as well. And so they had all these things set up, and so I felt like it was disorganized for this ship. I went to this solo meetup program. It was in the what was that? The whiskey bar area, right? Like, so it was near there. It was open. The person had like a sign to say that this is where we are. It was noisy. We could hardly hear each other at times because people are talking, or there would be a musician playing. And so I think maybe this is another thing that they need to, inaugural, hiccups again, that they seemed like they didn't have it together. So I ended up not really going there, but I still, met the people. So when I saw them around, or if they were staying in the solo cabin areas, I would go, eat with them. And so we would fellowship because we saw that. And so I think even though they had those hiccups, I feel like at least go there one time, kind of get acquainted with the people so that now you can see them around, go out with them, go to shows with individuals and things of that nature. So that was kind of like, whereas like when I was in Prima, I went several times and I enjoyed myself. I felt like after that one time, I was kind of like underwhelmed. So hopefully those individuals going on Aqua going forward, that they would they have it together, they have it organized, they have a space for them so that they can meet up and do things of that nature together like that. So
Yeah.
I think for the most part, I think they have a great solo program, which they always didn't have. I think over time they used to have it like Carnival, where it was like, here, solos, and you could meet up at this bar, and nobody knew who was a solo, who was married, who was what, right? You just kind of went there, and you was expected to somehow pick out who the solo person was. And so now they have somebody over it to kind of organize it as a host. But this one, I don't know, it needs some work. And so hopefully,
Gotcha.
as the cruise goes along, they can get it together and kind of organize it the way it should, put it in a space the way it should, so that they could kind of converse, have the games. It was fun, like on Prima. This one was like one and done.
Yeah.
One and done, but I was able to get acquainted with the people, and I was able to eat dinner with them. And so even though I was solo, because y'all was just doing y'all own thing, you don't realize I'm by myself, lonely and everything. And so
way to make us feel bad, Paul.
And so I think the last day I met up and had dinner at Hudson's together, and so that was good. I do like to be able to have the solo lounge, because you just meet up with other solos, just going in and out. And I thought that part of it was, but I had much more fun on Prima. They had it together when it came to the solo experience. Yeah, solo cruiser experience.
Well, that's good feedback if you're thinking about taking a solo cruise on this ship. Hi.
Yeah, hopefully they got it together by the time everybody else. So some people may then benefit from the fact that they're taking the ship after we did, right?
Yeah, like after they get some feedback on things, right? And
Exactly.
hopefully implement some of the things that people are struggling with on board. CD brought up a good point too. I also feel the splash pad was too hidden and made the adult pool crowded. You probably talked about it already. I arrived late. We didn't actually touch on that. We talked about the adult pool being really crowded. But that's a good point. We just happened to like walk up on the splash pad one day. Like we just kind of found it on accident. And I thought that, for smaller kids, that's a nice area. And there were a lot of smaller kids that were in the adult pool that probably could have been there if they known that was there. But I do also feel like it would have been nice to have something for like more than one pool for one. And so, like you either are really, really little in this splash pad or you're going to the adult pool. There was no in between. Like some kind of in between there would have probably helped the pool deck itself not be as crowded and as busy.
I think we've been spoiled by other cruise lines.
We could be
when we think about that, everybody here on the panel. I think we've all been spoiled by other cruise lines because other cruise lines, they have at least 2 or 3 pools, and for you got what's the capacity of that ship? The one we just call
3,000 or maybe just under something like that.
So you got 3,000 people. and you got a pool that fit 56. What do you feel that fits 56? What are you going to do? You got to have something for everybody else. So
and a 5-day cruise that got turned into 4 sea days. So
unless you start letting people slide off into the ocean in the middle of the cruise, float out into the ocean and let them slide off with life vests on, you got to have something
I'm not
else.
interested in that.
Not me either. I did see that though. I watched a video one day, and it was a group of people. It was probably about 25 people, and they was on a catamaran. And they was all just jumping off into the ocean. I was like, y'all nuts. Because them fish down there waiting on you right now. It's like, oh, look, lunch. We've been waiting on this.
Passenger capacity is 3,571 people.
Right. And you got one pool that fits 56.
Yeah.
Comfortably. So 56 comfortably, but 93 inside of it. I think they should another pool would have been ideal.
I did miss something like an adults only area, like free, like a Serenity,
one, right?
Yeah, like Carnival, yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. We got a couple of comments I'm gonna go through. See what C said. I try to be strategic and selective about the ships I'm doing an inaugural for. I can't afford them all, and they aren't all good for my channel. Absolutely, you got to, because really, when it comes down to doing these inaugural sailings, like, it's a big draw for a creator, right? But you will go broke real quick trying to hit all of them, trying to get them all, and they don't always make sense for you. So it's smart to be strategic about it. Do you guys feel like you made the right decision in terms of and shout out to C, because she talked about this on her live too, deciding between inaugural for Aqua versus inaugural World America, because they were kind of both same time frame.
They were same time. Man, I feel like we were the only one on Aqua for creators on our sailing.
I mean, obviously that everybody else here. But.
That's what I'm saying. Like us in the chat right now, like this was it.
Yeah, there was a lot more hype around MSC as compared to Aqua. And I think it's because of all those pre-sailings that they did, right? But I think we made the right decision. Yeah. I mean, we'll still have the MSC World America on the channel coming up soon, but you could go broke real quick. Like, in terms of inaugurals for us, like, we're going to do Star of the Seas in August, and then we have the new Celebrity in November.
And Brilliant Lady out in New York in September.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
We're trying to sprinkle it all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. So that brings up actually what I was going to do next, which and thank you to everyone that dropped questions and comments and everything in the chat. We appreciate you. I do see there was a few more, but I don't want to hold everybody here too long. But I want to give you guys a chance to talk about whatever you have coming up, anything that you have going on for your channel, any kind of trips that you want to share. And we'll go ahead and start, Marley and Matt, since you guys already kind of talked about World America a little bit. What do you guys have coming up that people need to tune in for?
Yeah, so next week we are getting on World America. Our little girl is turning 2, and we're doing a whole surprise birthday setup in our cabin. So I'm really looking forward to that. After that, we have Star of the Seas, just the 3-day. We were on the 7-day inaugural, but since they added so many pre-cruises to that, we're on the first 3-day sailing now. Brilliant Lady Mermaiden Voyage in New York, going to Bermuda. We've never been to Bermuda, so I'm really excited about that. And then Celebrity Excel in November, their inaugural sailing. Yeah, it's just inaugurals after that. After MSC, it's just the inaugurals.
Oh, I like it. You brought up the pre to the pre, like Yolo said. I don't like the pre to the pre to the pre to the pre.
Right.
It's because, like we said, like as creators, there's a lot of value in being first, right? Because that's what people are searching for. They want to see that content, and then they just keep pushing the goalpost further and further. But also with our channel, like one thing that I know everyone here does is we always update our Instagram stories. So for instance, for MSC World America next week, we'll be basically on Instagram for that whole entire cruise, updating live.
Yep.
So that's at Portholes and Pixie does for basically everything. And
new videos every Thursday.
New videos every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
We haven't missed one video premiere in a year, so we're trying to really stick to that consistent schedule. at the sake of, some of our sanity, but we do it because we love it. And we just appreciate y'all letting us be here today and talk about our experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No problem.
We appreciate you guys joining us. It was fun meeting you, and I wish we had more time to really hang out on the ship, but maybe one day we'll make it on the ship together again.
We'll try to make another trip
We need to start talking Luna, guys.
Right.
Luna.
Yes. So make sure you guys subscribe to Portholes and Pixie Does. We have been dropping a link. If you're watching on the Team Reese Travel side, we have been dropping both their links throughout the night. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Portholes and Pixie Does here on YouTube. And like they said, go check them out on Instagram because they are going to be posting and sharing stories and all the things over there while they're on board World America. So don't miss the opportunity to get more World America content. And we have Paul here as well. Paul, what we got coming up?
So I go live every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. We talk about cruising, we talk about tips, anything travel related we'll talk about. The only time I'm not on my channel is probably when I'm traveling. And so come and check me out at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next thing I'm going on, a bucket list item for me, I released the information to my members, but I'll put it out here for everybody. This week I am going on a cruise out of Southampton to do the Norwegian fjords, something I've always wanted to do. Big bucket list item for me. I am celebrating my birthday in June, and so that is going to be at a resort. So I will do as I said, I'm going to try to pivot and do a little bit more resorts. So I'm going to do that resort review, and that will be a real vacation because after I'm not showing everything I'm doing in every moment. Yeah, exactly. So, and then the next thing after that, in the immediate future, which I have to try to get an airplane ticket for, I want to vlog Celebration Key Major for Carnival.
Nice.
And so that's going to be in July, and so I think I'm on the second sailing for that, and so I could kind of vlog that and see how that is compared to like other things and Half Moon Cay and how everything else is. So those are in the immediate future, and so come check me out.
Absolutely. And we've been dropping Paul's channel link here in the chat as well. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to Paul Travels with PNB. Make sure you subscribe to Portholes and Pixie Dust. We have had a blast chatting with y'all. It felt good to kind of get chat about some of what our experiences was and hear you guys' perspective too. It's a little bit different actually getting to talk to you guys versus seeing it in the vlog. Because we get to hear. You can't always put everything in a vlog, right? You get to hear a little bit more when you get on a live stream. So it's been cool. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Keisha came in, I saw, and someone else came in too. Who did I miss? I'm sorry. If I missed you and you came in, hello. Thank you for being here. We're going to go ahead and let our guests jump off. We thank you guys. We have took up enough of your time on this Sunday afternoon. And then we're going to do Motivations by Ray, and we got a little announcement, and then we'll be saying goodnight. All right, but thank you to our guests. We appreciate you all
so much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Have a good one.
Take care. You too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was fun. It's been a while since we had a special guest on Sunday Shenanigans. That was really cool getting to chat with them. Before we do Motivations by Ray, we have an announcement, right?
By Kiki.
Before we do Motivations by Ray,
Kiki.
Some of the things we have coming up, we have, let me pull this down. So we have more Norwegian Aqua content coming. We still have we have another full sea day, I think. We have the last day, which is when we get into what was the area we went in with Paul and was playing tennis and basketball and all of that?
That area.
The glow court. Yeah. We still got glow court footage. We still have Cagney's footage.
Yeah.
Which we didn't even get into specialty dining. Man, there was a lot to talk about for that cruise. Yeah. So we still have those videos coming. We'll continue to push those out. And anything else? If you missed it, we do have a group cruise the Mom and Me cruise hosted by RJ and I. We're going to be
Scan that QR code, please.
We are going to be going to, Lord, I had a brain fart. We're going to be getting on the Wonder of the Seas August 3rd through 7th of 2026. Gonna be a good time. We already got
Y'all don't want to miss it.
We already got some things up our sleeve for that group cruise. RJ is super excited to be planning it with me. So definitely scan the QR code if you are interested in joining the Mom and Me cruise. Let us get you a quote for it. It's gonna be fun. Oh, Sybil was the other person that came in. I just remembered. Hey Sybil, welcome in, cousin. But yes, make sure you scan that QR code if you are interested in joining the group cruise.
Hey, if anybody wants to know one of the activities they got going on the Mom and Me cruise, I'm taking bids.
He is not.
Starting at $100.
He is not.
I'll just play. I'll play. I ain't gonna tell you. You ain't gonna bust my head. Talk about why is Ray looking like that? I told.
Now, are we sharing our next cruise today?
If anybody wants to know what the next cruise is, put a 1 in the chat. I need to see some 1s in the chat if you want to hear what the next cruise is gonna be.
CWC said Maisie is so adorable. She is. She really is. And CWC said, yeah, Celebrity slipped a pre-in, but I don't feel like I'm missing anything because that ship is going to require more than 3 days to enjoy. Absolutely. The one thing we learned, C and I were on Celebrity Ascent together for the preview sailing. And while it was great, like we enjoyed it, it was a lot to do in them 3 days. And it's a lot of ship, even though it's not a humongous ship, there was still a lot of little spaces and things to cover on that ship. And 3 days was definitely not enough for it. Yep. She just said, I did that 3 day on Ascent and did not want to get off at all, at all. YOLO said I was on it 7 and didn't want to get off. And look, I did the 3 day and then went and got back on it for 7 days. And I still want to get back on it again. It is an amazing ship, y'all. So I know the people who are the people who are booked on that next Celebrity ship, Celebrity XL that's coming out. If it's anything like Ascent, y'all gonna love it. Y'all gonna love it. So we got some 1s in the chat, babe.
Okay. Well, we only telling to the people that's got the 1s. Everybody else, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Okay, our next cruise, you guys, it's actually in less than 2 weeks.
Yep.
So RJ and I will be cruising together. This will be a Mom and Me cruise. But what is super exciting and a huge milestone for Team Reese and Team Reese Travels, we are going to be on the media event for the Ovation of the Seas, sailing out of Los Angeles to Ensenada. This is our first time ever being invited to any kind of cruise event.
Yeah.
So it's super exciting for us.
Proud of you, boy.
Thank you, baby. RJ and I are doing it together. Red will be working, unfortunately, but RJ and I gonna go represent Team Reese. And y'all, when I tell y'all this is something we have prayed for a long time. So I was invited as a TA, but I am praying that this will really open the door for us as a channel as well, as creators as well. I think it has the potential to do that. So that's my prayer. But I'm excited either way. It's Ovation of the Seas, never been on this class of ship. So this is the one that's got like the bumper cars and the North Star. I think it's got the iFly. Like it's got a lot of things that I have never experienced on a ship before. So super excited for it. So y'all stay tuned. The next Sunday Shenanigans will probably be live from the ship because I think we leave. Is it 2 weeks? It is. Yeah. 2 weeks from now we'll be on board. So we will see you guys there. We appreciate you guys supporting Team Reese, supporting us. You guys help y'all keep this show running. Y'all keep us moving. Y'all keep us cruising with your support, with your love, with your comments, with everything that you do to support us. And we love you so much for it. So thank you. I see all the congratulations coming in. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Right back to it, huh? Just full circle moment. YFC said, huge congratulations. This will definitely continue to open doors. Amen.
We're gonna get RJ a Dodgers hat. A cheap one though, because he don't keep up with stuff.
Phil D said, that's awesome. Congrats, y'all. Thank you, Phil D. Quantum class is one. YOLO said quantum class is one. We're super excited for that. Like that is the one class of ship that I have never stepped on that I always like, man, I really want to do that. I really want to do like iFly and the bumper, like that kind of stuff. So we are looking forward to it, and we are looking forward to bringing you all the content for it. So thank you again. And CD said, what's your channel name? Our channel name is Team Reese Travels. So it should be, oh, you know what? I think they're paired. So they're probably on Marley or
PNB.
Paul's channel. But our channel name is Team Reese Travels. Let me see if I can. I think if I drop the link, it's still only going to drop it on our side. But yes, the channel name is Team Reese Travels. We would love to have you subscribe to us if you haven't already. And we appreciate you coming for the live today.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thanks for staying.
Keisha said, congrats, TRT. Love that for y'all. Super excited.
Thank you.
Travel Case Trip says, spectacular invitation. Wow, congratulations. Hey, Cara, welcome in.
Hey, Cara, how you doing? Thanks so much for being here.
All right. So with that announcement out now, are you ready for Motivations by Ray?
Yes. Hold on.
Cara said, what happened? Cara, we were invited to the media event for Ovation of the Seas selling out of Los Angeles in 2 weeks for so Ovation is moving from its current location to California. They have never had
LA.
This class of ship on the West Coast. So they're making they have this like media sailing, kind of making a big to-do of now having this new class of ship sailing out the West Coast.
I want to go.
Thank you so much, CD.
She
said, spell out Reese. So Team Reese Travels. Okay. You ready? Might need one of those neon wall signs. You know what's funny? Look, Quincy. There you go. It's just too high. It's just too high up to see it in the live. Yeah, Ray's brother got us that.
Shout out to my brother and his wife, all the way out there in. I'm not telling you. Shout out to my brother and his wife for that. They gave us that for Christmas.
Yeah, they got that for Christmas.
They got us for Christmas. So,
but it's way up there. We got to kind of figure out how to get it down lower so it can show up.
Speaking of, I saw another one I wanted to order. And that mug would be amazing. It like changes colors and it has like interactive videos that you can play in it. It's just, I was like, yeah, that's gonna probably be too much for back there, but still.
So on the go YOLO, see it says, see, there they go, pre LOL. All right. Well, so if you are new here, every Sunday at the end of the live stream, every other Sunday, because we go live every other Sunday, we do what's called Motivations by Ray. It's just our opportunity to just tell you, man, this camera is weird now that I've moved it. It's just our opportunity to give you a little bit of encouragement going into the week. It's a Sunday. We finna start a new week. You never know what's going on in anybody's life. Sometimes things going real well. Sometimes they going crazy. You just don't know. But we just want to leave you with a little bit of encouragement on Sunday evenings that you can carry into your week. And so with that,
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Thank you. And once again, thank y'all so much for your support on the channel. We appreciate you all so much. We thank you all for just being loving and kind and everything that you do. And so we are greatly appreciated of that. We are greatly appreciative of that. Today, I want to talk. I just wrote a brief note here. I want to make sure I get it right. Today, I want to talk about you have to do things different sometimes. You have to do things different. Yesterday, I got outside on the grill and we had some seasoning that we were trying. And this particular seasoning had coffee in it. Yes, that coffee. The coffee you drink early in the morning when you tell people, don't talk to me till I get my coffee.
The coffee I drink every morning.
Right. Don't talk to me until I get my coffee in me. That coffee. It had coffee grounds in it. So when you opened it up, and you smelled it, it was like, whoa, this is strong. And so I only put it on like one pork chop because we had 3 because we don't need to be eating pork like that. But anyways, I put it on one pork chop. And when I tell y'all that seasoning was amazing, that seasoning was amazing. Why am I talking about seasoning when we're supposed to get a motivation my way? Because I'm trying to tell you that sometimes you got to do things different. Everybody has their traditional seasonings that they use. Everybody has their traditional things that they use. But sometimes you got to break tradition and be different. it's okay to be different. It's okay to try different things, because sometimes that's what you need to get that little bit more excitement in your life, or get that a little bit more change in your life, the differences you're looking for. It's okay to try different things. And you know what? Well, you like, Ray, I don't know what different things I want to do. That's where it comes in, and you say, Lord, what do I need to do different? What do I need to do different in my life to be better for you, to do better for myself, to get better things, to get better opportunities, to see higher heights, to see different things, the different places I want to go. God, what do I need to do better? Because we're not going to know it all. We can know what we want to do different. We can know what we want to see different in our lives. We can know what we want to be experienced different in our lives. But God will give you the clarity that you need to make things different and to do things differently. We can't always rely on ourselves, because relying on ourselves is going to get us in a spot where we're like, well, how in the world did I get here? Because you was relying on yourself. You was thinking that you knew everything. You was thinking that you thought everything. You was thinking that you were everything, and find out that you were nothing. And not because don't nobody care about you, but when God tells you and God deals with you on things, you figure out, this is who I am. This is where I need to be. This is where I need to go. This is how I need to do it. Because on your own, trying to be different, you're going to be out there and it's going to be like being in the middle of the desert. You're trying to figure out, how in the world I get out here? Because you did it on your own. But when you talk to God about it and ask God to show you what you need to do different, how you need to do different, what needs to be different in your life, because we all want better. One way or another, we all want better. If it's better money, a better car, better cars, a bigger house, a bigger apartment. Because some people don't want no house. They want an apartment because they don't have to worry about all them extra responsibilities. I ain't got no problem with that, because, well, anyways, we ain't gonna talk about it. But I want you to just ask God, what can I do different? How can I be different for him? Because sometimes the difference that he wants is not what you're gonna want. He gonna want you to be different he wants you to talk to certain people and go certain places that you don't think that you should talk to or go.
And step out of your comfort zone.
Right. And when you do that, but when you do it, you be like, oh my God. Case in point, I got a what is it? Not a raise, but I got a promotion. I got 2 promotions over the last 2 weeks. And when I first got to the area where I'm at now, this area had been talked about. Like, Ray, you don't want to go up there. That ain't what you're supposed to be. These people are this, these people are that. Y'all, I got up there was way different than what they said. Now, what if I would just stay where I was? I'd have still been complaining in my head, because I wasn't telling nobody. I've still been complaining to myself, just walking around like I don't really want to be here. But when God opens the door, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay there, or are you going to experience something different? Am I qualified in that area? No, but what happens, you get qualified, and that's what God will do for you. He will qualify you to be in spots you would never thought you would be in. He will qualify you to walk in places that you would never be in. You're qualified already. You just have to find out what you're qualified in. And again, ask God, say, God, what am I qualified in? Or what can you qualify me in? Or where do you want me to go where I'll be qualified, even though I know I may not have the paperwork to show it. I may not have the years experience to show it. I may not have the finances to show it. But God, how can I be different and be qualified to do this or do that or go here or go there? So starting today, try and work on being different, because when you be like everybody else, you're going to get the same results. You're going to get the same things. You're going to get the same requests. But when you're different, that puts you in a different spot. Everybody not going to be, when everybody's different, there's different opportunities. There's different places you go, different things you can do by being different. Today, ask God, how can I be different for you and be a better person for you and serve this world in a better capacity? That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, amen to that. Definitely want to be different. It's hard to be different too. And I tell you, I be wanting to stay in my comfort zone. It's comfortable there. I like it there. I had to step out the box a whole lot of times.
And even when you say that, there was an original spot I was in, and if God, so, and this is the other thing too. Sometimes you're called to be different, but you don't want to move. So what God is saying, he was like, hey, remember I told you to move, you don't move, you're gone.
Right. Look.
And so he'll push you out. Right. Absolutely. God calls it out. Absolutely. He will push you out to push you into something greater. And that's what happened with me. Because if he hadn't pushed me out from where I was comfortable, I was complacent, I was satisfied because I knew eventually I was going to get where I wanted to go. But he pushed me out into a spot where I really didn't want to be in. And I complained for a while. But then when he pushed me into that spot, he pushed me into something greater just a year later. Pretty much, just over a year later, he pushed me into something greater that's different than what everybody said it was. So when God calls you into something being great and being different, accept the challenge. Because he's not going to put you in nothing you can't handle. He's not going to put you into nothing where you can't be effective in, because he wouldn't have called you into it if he wasn't going to make you effective in it and it was something you couldn't handle. Be different. It's okay. Be different in your channels. Be different on your job. Be different with your kids. It's okay. And the question is, what if I fail? Okay. Try again. Or maybe it's something you need to do different with what you did before with your approach. But it's okay to try to be different. You can ask Kiki for a fact. I'm a whole different dude than a whole lot of folks. There are things I like to do and like to go and like to enjoy that a whole lot of guys I know that's my age, at least that I know of that's my age, that don't. It's okay to be different. We tell RJ all the time, be different. You ain't got to fit in. Because when you fit in, everybody gonna put you in the same category. But when you stand out and be different, they be like, this
it's
kid,
something about them.
It's something different about you than all the others. It's okay to be different. And if don't nobody else celebrate it, you celebrate it yourself. And if don't nobody, especially if God calls you into it, God is celebrating because you're doing what he wants you to do and not what you want to do.
Amen.
There it is. Okay.
All right. Travel Cake Trip said, definitely talk to God about it. Amen. My Cruise and family said, congrats on the promotion. P&B say thank you. They said congrats.
Oh, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
You need to wipe your brow. You on break now?
I need a towel. Nurse!
Travels with P&B said, preach, right?
Can you be my nurse, boo?
Keisha A said... Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. Keisha A said, okay, doubly blessed. 2 promotions in 2 weeks. Look at God. Yes. Regina said, congrats, Ray. Thank you, Regina.
Thank y'all so much. It's hot now.
Sybil said, amen. You really do need a towel.
Right. I'm sweating, man.
Makai said, God calls the unqualified. I love that. I love that. Yolo said, yes,
that's t-shirt worthy.
Be your unique self.
Go ahead, put that on the t-shirt, Makai.
Be your authentic self. Regina said, congrats. Thank you, Regina. LaQuinta, and thank you for being a channel member too, Regina. LaQuinta said, amen, amen. Happy birthday, T. YFC said, be different, amen. My Cruising family said, I know that's right. All right. Set apart, a peculiar people. Come on, Peter, with the word. Come on.
Boom.
LaQuinta said, I like that y'all put Saturday successes on your community posts. I wish more people would comment because I like reading those. Yes, every Saturday we have a Saturday success post. We really want to know what y'all celebrating, y'all, because we be celebrating with y'all. We be praying with y'all. We be on it. Like, we love that. So thank you, LaQuinta, for commenting. I love that you share with us. Big Murph always is one that comments on it too. Brian comments on it a lot. Like, we appreciate you guys. We really do. We love celebrating with y'all.
When we tell y'all that we love y'all, we are honest about that. And it's not just a cliche or just something to say, but we really do. We appreciate you all because we are very, very family oriented. And to have people in this community that are in similar ways family oriented in their own special and unique way, it's appreciated because it's good to have people you can lean back on. Now, of course, you can't tell everybody all your business, and of course, you can't tell everybody everything, but there are times you can reach out to certain people in a group chat or on a side chat and just, have that conversation with people, and they will listen and not judge. At least I don't think. But more than 100%, I believe that people, when we talk to people about certain things, that they listening and not judging, and they don't just off the bat give they don't give their opinion. They just listen, and they might give a few words, but they just listen. So we appreciate you all for just the love, the concern, the love you guys have for RJ. RJ, we this know
RJ
y'all,
community too.
right? This RJ community too. The love y'all show RJ and everything he does, be it from him just smiling or from him
blogging,
doing his
swimming, whatever
swim
it
meets,
is.
whatever it is. We greatly appreciate y'all, and we thank you all so much, and we love y'all.
We do. See what C said. Oh, I got to remember to do Saturday successes. Yes, we want to hear about it. We want to hear what's going on in the world of See It With C. Julie B said, "Hey family, hey Julie B,
how you doing?
We are getting ready to get out of here, Julie B. But go ahead and run it back to replay. We had a good time chatting with our guest today, and we just finished up Motivations by Ray. LaQuinta said we love y'all too. And with that, y'all, we're going to get out of here. We got to go get a couple things done. We're getting ready to start the new week, getting RJ back to school, cruising in a couple of weeks. So we getting out of here. We love y'all. Again, we appreciate you. And
will we be back on before y'all leave?
No, we'll be on
y'all,
the ship.
Guess what, y'all? Guess what's happening in the Reese household? Mr. RJ is graduating from 5th grade.
Yes, this is actually this cruise will be kind of RJ's graduation gift. So he'll graduate and then we literally like leave the next day to fly out for this cruise. So so and my cruising family. I'm sorry. Thank you. One more thing, y'all. I'm sorry. Join my cruising family on Wednesday. I think I saved the link here somewhere.
Oh, I thought you.
On Wednesday, tune in to My Cruising Family's channel, Battle of the Ships. Us, along with a number of other creators, are going to be on. Make sure you check that out. Go right now. It is scheduled already. Hit the button, set your timer, set your reminder so you can tune in. So we will be able to chat with y'all again. All right. We going for real this time? We keep saying bye and then we have more stuff.
Yes, we're going.
Okay, y'all. We love you. We'll see you next time. See you in 2 weeks on Ovation of the Seas.
Peace. Thank y'all so much. Shenanigans. Please leave a comment below. And for exclusive content, join our membership.